Listen, fuckhead. You can do whatever you want to do. You can put me on mute. You can turn the goddamn channel for all I care. What the fuck are you doing? And you're listening to us now. So obviously you didn't hit the fucking mute switch tonight, asshole.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Royal Grumble Draft Special. We're here to a special episode, this one. We've had the news today that WWE is taking SmackDown live on Tuesdays, and they'll be separating the rosters again, so they're returning to the old brand extension, or whatever they want to call it this time. And because of this, I am sat here with Mr. Monday Night, Daniel.
Hello.
And the Tuesday Night Delight, Daryl.
Hiya.
And we're going to talk a bit about the draft, and then I've got a little game for them to play.
I like games.
Yeah. Well, not one of your normal sorts of games, though, Daryl.
Naked Twister.
I've told you, it's not legal in this particular part of the country.
Right ball on yellow spot. That's what I do.
Not yellow spot on right ball.
I've been to doctors about that.
What a great start.
I thought so. Yeah, so this came a little bit out of the blue. I know there's been a lot of rumours about would they be doing a brand split, suggestion that when they were doing the Shane and Stephanie thing, maybe they were going to take a brand each. But we've got an official confirmation now that SmackDown is going live on the USA Network on Tuesdays from here on out, I think, isn't it?
It's going to be July 19th when it starts.
July 19th. And that there was a very brief mention in the press release of there's going to be a draft.
Yeah, they hid it away down by the bottom of the statement. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it does strike me as a bit odd, actually.
Yeah, I got mugged off, didn't I, Graham?
Yeah,
when I read it out to you, I was like, "Don't say draft on it. Where's your red draft from? I can't see draft." And then there's a paragraph somewhere hidden, and he just went, "Oh yeah, there's going to be a draft."
He missed that entire paragraph, basically the paragraph that had all the information in it. So I'm interested to see what you guys think of this. I can't decide at the moment whether I think it's a really great idea or a really terrible idea, because I feel like right now the roster's a little bit thin. Especially considering they have to stretch it really thinly to cover 3 hours of Raw. So what do you think they're going to do? Daryl, you look like you've got some ideas.
Right, so everyone's going to say this. They're going to make SmackDown the wrestling show because Paul Heyman did it back in the day. They're going to make it different. They're not, are they?
No.
If we're being honest. It's going to be Raw Mark II with different wrestlers. So
Different colour scheme, that's it.
Yeah. So I'm excited as it's something different, but I'm not. I just got a feeling that I'm not. It all depends what the roster is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because like, if SmackDown ends up with all the wrestlers I like, then I'll catch Raw highlights just for the main bits, because obviously the main stuff's going to happen on Raw. That's always happened. And then I'll watch SmackDown because it's got wrestlers I like on it. But I don't really think there's going to be much in the way of groundbreaking things happening from this draft.
There have been times when they did the original brand split that SmackDown was infinitely more watchable than Raw. I remember certainly at the start, the SmackDown, it seemed like, when they first did it, that SmackDown had the better roster, which I think a large part of that was because they wanted to make it clear that SmackDown wasn't weaker, even though we all kind of knew it was. And then they had a period, we mentioned it very recently, in fact, we mentioned it on the last show, about 2008, 2009, when SmackDown was definitely like better in terms of pure quality of the show than Raw, when they had CM Punk as champion, they had
Edge,
Jeff Hardy, and then there's I think it would have been about 2005, 2006, the SmackDown 6, the Paul Heyman era, like you mentioned before. So there's been several times when SmackDown's been infinitely more watchable. I just question whether they're going to be willing to let it happen again.
I mean, one of the things that they haven't talked about yet, and we'll learn soon, is what's going to happen with the title. Because I'm guessing it's going to be just one champion still, but is it going to be like the early draft days when they just had the one champion on both shows? Or are they going to do something like, I saw people suggesting today, maybe boost up the IC title, because you could have that as the main title on SmackDown and kind of do, like, I know I'm going to harp on and be the New Japan guy here, but in New Japan, those two titles are kind of on par with each other. I've seen people suggest that one, but it's the brand split. there's going to be a lot of weird things with it where it did work for a while in the Paul Heyman era. It was a completely different show. It was really good to watch both shows. There was a lot of stuff going on. But then as time went on, both shows got kind of stretched thin a little bit. You had people just jumping backwards and forwards, which kind of made it a moot point. And it got a bit boring by the end of it.
Can I just come back to the belt?
Yeah.
Who's the guy that makes the belt? Is it Reggie Parks or Dave Milliken?
Reggie Parks, I think, because I know what you're going to talk about, but go ahead.
Yeah, he tweeted a picture maybe a month back, maybe even less than that, and it was of the old Bret Hart / Shawn Michaels Eagle belt, but it had like the WWE logos on it, like the new logos, and he said something about this is going to be on Friday nights or something coming soon or something like that, and obviously SmackDown's moving now, but he was hinting it was going to be on SmackDown, and then he deleted the tweet. Is that what you were thinking?
I saw that as well, yeah. It was silver at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it wasn't a carbon copy of the belt, but it was of that ilk. It was very similar.
It had a very similar design. It was like an updated version of that Winged Eagle design.
Yeah.
You just got my attention.
But it's a nice
Look
belt.
for it. It's a really nice picture. I gotta say, if you can find a picture, it looks really good.
It's a nice belt, but how do we feel about having two champions again?
Don't want it. I really don't want that.
Yeah.
Because that's always going to be the lesser belt, isn't it? Because the WWE one is the one that's been there for 50 years, maybe more than 50 years now. It's the one that's the WWE title, the one that Roman Reigns got now. That's the one that Bret Hart had. That's the one Shawn Michaels had. That's the one that Hogan had. Austin, Rock, Mankind, like everyone. That's the one that everybody's had. And then you bring a new belt in. Oh, this is the one that Dolph Ziggler's won.
The thing is, they amalgamated the World Heavyweight Championship into the WWE title with that match a few years back at, was it TLC?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. The double title match with Cena and Orton. And when they did that, any claim they had that the world, because they would go back and forth on whether the world title was started in 2003 or whether it's the same lineage as the one with Triple H. It was the one that, the was WCW and the NWA before that. It was obviously the same belt, but they could never decide whether it was the same title that was just reactivated, which I always thought it was.
When they released the DVD History of the World title, they decided it was all the way back to the NWA.
Which makes sense that you would want to claim that, but they couldn't do that now. They can't just go, oh, we've reactivated again. I mean, I suppose they could, but they would need to use that same belt again. And if this new title belt is the one they're using, which, when nobody knows if it is, that's been really quiet since that tweet was put out, then if they're not using the old World Heavyweight Championship belt, then I guess it's a new belt that no one will really care about too much. I don't know. I just don't want to see new titles. The odd thing is when John Cena and Daniel Bryan were the IC and the US title holders respectively, you could have gone, well, fair enough. They can both hold the show up, and then you can have the main, the world title holder on both shows, like Brock Lesnar could have done that. He would have been absolutely perfect for that sort of role because he's an event superstar, and you have your main belts on both shows, and then he occasionally comes in. It's like, right, this is a really big deal. You've got the World Championship being, shown on Raw, shown on SmackDown, but now that Kalisto's just had the belt, and
what a reign!
Yeah, although I am quite pleased with what they're doing with the IC title, but in terms of the US title, that's nowhere near at the moment where it needs to be.
That'll change with the new champion, which we're going to talk about on the next episode.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a bit more detail in the next episode. But for now, right, it's game time, boys. Okay.
I like games.
So,
I'm excited.
I am going to have you both. I know I've not really prepped you for both for this. I've just told you to look up the roster, haven't I?
Yeah, for some reason I'm wearing a blindfold. I don't know why.
I told you that's for the surprise later.
Okay.
That just don't scream too loud, yeah. Dan, your face is brilliant. You're not getting the surprise, don't worry. So I'm going to have you both do a draft. Okay, so shocker, I know.
Oh.
So here's the rules that I've set up. This is absolutely arbitrary. I've made these rules up myself. This is absolutely nothing to do with what they've announced today, other than that we know they're going to do a draft. All I'm doing now is I'm interested to see what you would make of it. And I didn't want to give you too much preparation time, so I've decided that Dan, you'll take Raw.
Okay.
Daryl, you'll take SmackDown.
Why am I taking the Spacker show?
Because you're the Tuesday Night Delight.
Spackdown.
Okay, there you are. Daryl's Tuesday Night SmackDown. I guess Daniel's Monday Night Raw. I can't really think of anything funny with that one. It's just a brand. So, I only want you to do 10 picks. Okay. The WWE Champion and the Women's Champion are both ineligible, like they were in the original draft back in 2002.
Okay.
So, in this particular instance, it's Roman Reigns and Charlotte, so you can't draft either of them. Okay. If you take one of the titles, like the IC title or the US title, you can't take the other one.
Okay.
So, for example, if you named Rusev, you couldn't then name The Miz as well.
Oh,
Okay.
that's going to be difficult.
Well, there you go. You must both pick one diva. Well, not diva, women. Excuse me, I apologize. You must both pick at least one women's
We're in
wrestler.
a new era, Graham. Come on.
I know we are, yeah. I feel really bad. And I'm going to work under the premise that tag teams can be drafted together, but you can have no more than two. Now, in the case of groups like the Social Outcasts, well, if you're drafting the Social Outcasts, I'm not being funny, but you can have all three because they're not even worth one of like half the rest of the roster. I can't think of any other groups that are
New Day
together. You would have to count them as a tag team. So, I will rule that the New Day and the Social Outcasts, you may count them as a group. So, I've got a coin here. Okay, I'm going to do a live coin toss now. So, if I go off mic, I apologize. Right. Who wants to call the coin toss?
Go for it, Daryl. You got the secondary show.
Oh,
The banter.
brand competition, bragging rights.
Banter. I'll have heads, please.
Heads. Okay, so if it's heads, you go first.
Okay.
If it's tails, Dan will go first, okay?
Okay.
It's heads. Daryl goes first.
Yeah, of course it is.
Right. So
Do I get first pick?
you get first pick.
Do I really get first pick?
You absolutely get first pick, and I want you to justify your picks, okay? Don't feel like you have to put a lot into it, but you have to justify your first pick. Okay.
Right.
Daryl?
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Rusev. Fuck you.
Oh, Rusev. So, Daryl, with his first pick, takes the US champion, Rusev. So that means you can't now pick The Miz,
That's fine.
but you have Rusev as your first pick. Okay, so on Daryl's imaginary SmackDown roster, Rusev is pick number 1. Daniel, it's over to you.
I'm going to pick The Miz just so I have the IC title on my roster.
I wouldn't be allowed to pick him anyway. You'd have had to pick The Miz.
Interesting. Because you didn't... Yeah, you might have wasted a pick there, Dan.
That's fine.
Because he's not allowed to pick the IC title.
I'll build a division. It's great.
Right, okay, well, this is pretty interesting. So there you are. So we've got champions on both shows now. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Fantasy
Daryl...
booking in my back bedroom like 14-year-olds.
Well, we're doing different things at 14 in bedroom.
If you're not legally allowed to talk about those anymore, Daryl, are you?
No.
Oh.
There's injunctions.
Neither is your teacher.
No.
Splendid. Daryl, pick number 2.
I was never touched. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
This is my real number 1 pick. I literally picked Rusev just to be a dick. I know Dan wanted Rusev. Right. AJ Styles, right? Phenomenal. Like, and I don't care if that's, he is phenomenal. He is, right? He's my favourite wrestler on the roster.
Excellent.
Like, I will watch him have a hog pen match. I will
enjoy that. That would be brilliant to you.
Exactly. Like, I don't care. I'll watch him have a bra and panties match. He'll just make it good.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
fair.
like, because I'll probably be a shit booker. So, like, if I had him, he'd probably be like, no, we'll do it like this, mate. And I'm like, yeah, cheers.
He'll save your ass. Right. So, Dan, it's come down to you. You've got the second pick, obviously.
I might pick a diva just to carry on wasting my bet.
You're going to pick a woman.
No. I'm going to pick...
Why don't you pick Maurice?
Why don't you let him pick?
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Right, so he's just returned. Obviously, we'll talk about that a bit more on Sunday's show. But Dan, for his second pick, has gone for Seth Rollins. This is really interesting to me because it may not surprise you too much to find that I'm shocked neither of you have picked someone else. So go on. Right, so why Seth Rollins? Tell me.
former WWE champion, having great matches all the time, and he's an actual star in the company.
Great. I like the reasoning. I like the logic.
What are the rules on Brock Lesnar?
What happened then? Carry on.
Did I say that Brock Lesnar was ineligible to be
Brock
drafted?
Lesnar's my next pick.
Brock Lesnar. Now, I think when it comes around to it, I think they will make it so that Brock Lesnar is ineligible to be drafted. But I didn't stipulate that, and I'm quite happy to say that Daryl takes Brock Lesnar. Why Brock Lesnar, Daryl?
Because he's like my second favourite wrestler. Well, he's my favourite wrestler on the roster if you're being like that, but he's not there as much as AJ Styles, but like, because he's just solid, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, we spoke a lot about that Extreme Rules match last week, and like, he's just a beast, and like, he'll just pag shit out here.
And yes, I did watch that match.
Yep. So
and we will talk about that as well later.
Yeah, listen to that on the next show. I promised we promised that he would do it, and he has done it. Okay, so far I'm going to read the rosters back to you so far. So Daryl's SmackDown roster has the US champion Rusev, AJ Styles, and Brock Lesnar. Dan has the IC champion The Miz, Seth Rollins, and his third pick is
It's got to be Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. I'm shocked. Okay, so Kevin Owens, you've got a very heavy roster.
I'm gonna bring some faces in soon.
Okay, all right. Why Kevin Owens?
Well, he's guy of the moment right now. There's a lot of focus on him, especially in the IC title division. He's just brilliant, isn't he? Just some of the stuff he does, and he's one of those type of guys you watch and he's continuously entertaining, but he's also a complete dick with people.
Okay, I like it. Right. Daryl.
Right, so I'm contemplating between a few wrestlers at the minute.
Okay.
Because obviously you threw it on us, so like I've not had time to like work out tactically who I should pick next.
I did, and that's why I'm glad I threw it on you, because this is genuinely, to me, this is far more entertaining than if you'd had like a week to revise for it.
Okay, so what's the rules on picking The Rock? Because on my list he's on the roster. Am I allowed to pick The Rock?
You're allowed to pick him, but he's never going to show up.
Exactly. In real life, he's not going to show up, is he?
Well, hey, you're the booker, right? You get to decide these things.
If this was like a fantasy thing, I would pick The Rock. But in real life, they're not going to pick The Rock.
No, they won't pick The Rock. So I mean, you could, theoretically, I'm sure there'll be other people on that roster who aren't on the roster. If you know what I mean, there'll be other people. Like, I don't know if Stone Cold's listed as a roster member or Mick Foley's listed as a roster member. Well, fair enough then. Okay, but you know for a fact that The Rock is not going to show up on any other show than WrestleMania.
Right. So we'll not have The Rock then. I'll not pick The Rock.
Well, the choice is yours. You could pick him, but it would be really stupid.
Right. So
you would then essentially leave yourself with two working people.
Well, yeah, they could have a feud for.
All right, time's moving on.
Okay, all right. Chill out. John Cena.
Finally, one of you went. I can't believe neither of you went for John Cena until the fourth pick.
I didn't think he'd go for John Cena early on.
Right.
And I wanted to get Rusev.
Uh-huh.
And then I wanted AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
And then I was weighing up between The Rock, John Cena, and like two other wrestlers.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've gone for John Cena because he said he was going to get some baby faces soon. So I was like...
Very good. Very devious. Right, so that's pretty good logic. Dan, what are you going to come back with?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Excellent pick. I'll ask you why, but I think I probably know why.
Fight Forever. Him and Kevin Owens.
Oh, it's a fantastic pick. Although I'm annoyed that you said Fight Forever.
And the fact that I do believe, if done right, he can be the next Daniel Bryan in terms of popularity. And he could be like the big babyface on the show.
I get that. I understand that, yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so you've got your first babyface, which is Sami Zayn. Daryl, you had John Cena. Who have you got next?
Can we delve into NXT, or is it purely main roster?
I'm going to say no on NXT
Okay.
at the moment, because I think it works better with just the main roster. People might get called up, but at the moment, anyone who's made their debut on the main roster is eligible. Anyone who's...
Just if I was allowed to, it would be Samoa Joe next, because he would have a feud with Brock Lesnar. He would have a feud with AJ Styles. He would have a feud with Rusev. And he would have a feud with John Cena. And he would be the champion forever. But I can't do that. So I will pick... Right, run with me on this one. Sheamus. Yeah, I know he's a ginge. I know he's got a mohawk. But we can rebuild him.
Well, you have the technology.
Yeah. Like, because he does look solid. Yeah, you're pulling a face, Graham, right? But he does look solid.
Okay, yeah, he does.
And before the Nexus feud, and I know we're going back to 2010 for that,
Yeah.
he didn't used to be a pussy. Then he ran away from Nexus, and he's kind of been a pussy ever since. But there was a time when he wasn't, and that's what I'm going to bring back. I want to bring that Sheamus back. I'm not going to have funny Sheamus. He's not going to tell jokes. He's going to be solid.
So you're going to bring back...
He might even be a babyface, but he's going to be solid.
So you bring back ass kicker Sheamus?
Yeah.
Like when he returned and booted Daniel Bryan in the head?
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Exactly.
Which has led to what?
He's going to retire my
League of
roster.
Nations.
Well,
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Daryl picked the second least terrible member of the League of Nations.
I've got 2 members at League of Nations.
Yeah, all right, mate. You're done now. Dan's turn.
All right.
And Dan's going to pick this particular wrestler.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
New Day, excellent. So that's currently your WWE World Tag Team Champions. I'm so happy I did that because Daryl's face is just like thunder because I know he despises it when they do that.
No, I like New Day.
Yeah, but you don't like it when they do that?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I like
Why'd
it.
you always pull that
He
funny
fucking
face
loves
when they do
New
that?
Day.
Anyway.
So yeah, the reasons WWE Tag Team Champions, incredibly popular act, and you've got one really solid solo wrestler and 2 pretty good solo wrestlers there as well, should you need them in other roles, but you can keep them as New Day.
Good logic. I like it. So we're halfway through. 5 picks in. Daryl, who's going to be your 6th pick from the roster?
Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Right.
I knew that one was coming.
But you're not going to call them the Club, are you?
No,
That's what I've written.
like they'll have a better name. I'll let them pick it. But it won't be the Club.
Are you going to keep them? Well, I suppose they're not really. What are you going to do about? Are you going to put them with somebody?
I'm not decided yet. We'll just see. Like, I've not really got any tag teams, have I? So they can't have a feud yet.
That's true.
But they'll probably just stay with AJ Styles, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Fair play.
Rather than do this, I don't want their help.
Dan, pick 6.
I am just quickly looking through my list on who to bring in next.
Ooh.
Primo.
The Shining Stars, I think you'll find.
No, you just need one of them. Like, I'm going to pick one of the Usos next. Just to fuck with him. I'm not really, am I?
I'm going to go for another tag team. It's another babyface tag team, Enzo Big Cass.
Excellent choice. Enzo and Big Cass. That's if like Vince will let you have Big Cass because he'll like cry and hold on to him.
And the reasons are kind of the exact same as the New Day, apart from they aren't tag champs. Another popular tag team. You can use them in singles roles. Big Cass, Vince absolutely fucking loves, so let me do whatever I want.
Fair enough. And it is Raw. It is the A brand.
Yep.
Or is it the A brand, Daryl?
Well, no, because it doesn't have the primetime players.
Excellent. The primetime players. Primetime fucking players.
I love primetime players.
I like the primetime players as well. I'll give you that one. I know technically they're not together anymore, but they never actually split up, so I'll allow that, yeah. I quite like the primetime players. So you can have a tag...
And the Club can feud with primetime players then.
There you go.
That's my tag team feud sorted.
That's what the people want to see. Neither of you so far have fulfilled your one of your prerequisites, but I'm interested to see if that's what Dan's about to do now.
Figuring out Daryl's picks,
okay.
he only has one actual pick that I don't know yet.
Right, okay.
Because he's going to pick a diva, and then there's one guy he's going to pick.
Right, okay. I'm interested in this.
I actually don't know who I'm going to pick next, so I don't. So he's thought before I have.
He might have your number here.
There's a guy who you're definitely going to pick, and if I would pick him, you'd be shouting expletive, but I'm not going to pick him. I'll let you have him. I'm going to pick one more tag team. I'm going to pick the Dudleys.
The Dudley Boys, very good.
Same reasons apart from...
Oh, no, I forgot, sorry. No, I apologise. I've not adhered to my own rules. I did say to you, tag teams can be drafted together, but no more than 2. So no, I'm going to have to refuse you on the Dudley Boys.
That's fine.
My apologies for not enforcing the rules quicker.
I will quickly get another pick.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know who you think I'm going to pick, but I'm not. So
I know, yeah, I realised shortly after. No, because you wouldn't waste your time. He's definitely not a top 10, is he?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I'm going to go with a weird one here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze, okay. Interesting.
A guy who's not had his chance really to show what he can do on the main roster because he decided to go home early one day. In NXT, he had plenty of good matches. He was the guy they pretty much gave every good match to. Whenever they had a guy to bring in, so he was kind of the Dolph Ziggler of NXT, even though you two don't like that idea. But he's fully capable, and I think he could do pretty much anything with these guys. The rest of the guys I've drawn.
Okay, I like the logic. Tyler Breeze is a lot better than Dolph Ziggler anyway, so you've made a much better pick there.
It was between the two.
So, Daryl, you have used your 2 tag teams.
Yep.
You still have a prerequisite, obviously, and your next pick, please.
Which what? I have a prerequisite.
There's still another requirement for your top 10.
I need a woman, don't I?
Yes, essentially, yeah.
Right. But I've got 2 picks left on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got 3 picks left.
I've got 3
Well,
picks.
2 picks plus a diva.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
a woman.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Good call.
I do regret picking primetime players, to be honest, because I would have picked Wyatt family. But I'm like, but now I'm thinking I just picked the best member at Wyatt family, and then he can recruit other people to be in the Wyatt family. So if Dan thinks, well, I'm going to pick Luke Harper next, I'm like, well, obviously in the real roster you'd have more than 10. So we're like, oh, what's that rider doing? Nothing. Right, grow a beard, get some overalls.
Primetime Wyatts.
Exactly.
There you are. Tag team fusion.
Exactly.
I can't wait to see your tag team feud between Luke Gallows, Carl Edison, and the primetime players.
It'll be magical. It'll be like Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express. No, the new Midnight Express against the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, it definitely will be against the new Rock and Roll Express. Was there a new Rock and Roll?
No, there was
Express?
New Rockers and New Blackjacks.
There you go. New Blackjacks and New Rockers against the new Midnight Express.
The New Rockers had Al Snow in it.
Yep.
And the New Blackjacks had JBL in it.
And the new Midnight Express had Bob Holly in it.
Yeah, Bodacious Bob and Bombastic Bar. Or Bombastic Bob and Bodacious Bart.
I don't even think they know. Did you ever see that Billy Gunn shoot interview, by the way, where he says that him and Bart worked against the new Midnight Express? And the interviewer, rather than correct him on it, just moves on, even though obviously Bart Gunn was actually in the new Midnight Express, so it wasn't even possible. Dan, next pick, please.
Cesaro.
I'm really keen on this guy's like in-ring work. I'm a massive fan of his sort of babyface offense.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have a lot of criticisms for him, but I really like it. Is that, well, tell me.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the 2 rosters already, it's pretty clear, like, Daryl's building a huge, like, Rock'em Sock'em heavyweight division, and I'm building a junior heavyweight one here. Cesaro's perfect for that.
I just want main eventers, mate.
Okay, so, Daryl, back to you. You are on your 9th pick.
Right. And I've gone for this one because I just think we need... Yeah, we've got veterans, but like Brock Lesnar's not going to be there every week. So we need a veteran, an in-ring veteran to sort of like set the locker room on fire and be like, right, this is the example I'm setting, and I'm going to go for Chris Jericho.
Wow, okay. I did not see that coming.
Right.
That was going to be my next pick.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
2008 Chris Jericho.
Reason.
2008 Chris Jericho. That feud he had with Shawn Michaels is one of my favourite feuds ever. When he punched Shawn Michaels' wife in mouth.
Legit.
Yeah, like he was just a proper heel. Like he literally stripped everything from his character. Obviously, he's undone that now because he does all his stuff now. But like, so he can do it.
Yeah.
Like so, like that. That's why I'm picking Chris Jericho. He annoys us quite often.
As a human being, he's annoying, but
he understands what he needs to do to get hated, I think, and he can be a babyface as well. He's got that link to Attitude Era as well, which people like.
All right, yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. So obviously you're gonna have to think of your next pick.
Yeah, I'm looking at women's roster now.
Dan.
So I was going to pick Chris Jericho because of all the reasons he said, and as soon as I am building a junior heavyweight division, he's got a lot of history and that type of thing. Instead, I'm going to go for another guy who fits into this roster, Neville.
Neville, of course. Yeah, he's supposed to be coming back soon, hopefully.
Yes. Something we actually didn't mention earlier when you said that the roster seems a bit thin. We've got a ton of guys coming back, which is what kind of makes it a bit worthwhile for this draft to happen. I mean, Cena, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Neville, who else? There's a ton of guys. Tyson Kidd might even come back one day. That'd be nice. Probably not.
I hope he
which is
does
a
for his
shame.
sake. God.
Yeah, I hope he does, but
He'd fit quite well into your sort of junior heavyweight
yeah,
Raw.
he would. So yeah, that's Neville is another guy who fits perfectly into this roster.
Fair enough. Well, good shout. Okay, so we've now both made 9 picks. So obviously you both now have to pick a diva. I'm interested that neither... I wondered, Dan, if you might have picked a couple of divas and had your own sort of in-brand diva feud, but obviously I'm taking it that you're both working under the assumption that your diva would feud with the women's champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to ladies that listen to this, but obviously the men are the main eventers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
At the moment.
Yeah. So, like, I did very briefly consider just picking women just to fuck with you both.
It would have been interesting.
It would have been, however, I couldn't do it because I looked at the women's roster and it would have been a waste of many picks.
Yeah, there's 15 and there's quite a few of them are not worth anyone's time. Yeah.
And also, obviously, you'd have more than 10 wrestlers anyway on your roster. So these are genuinely my top 10. Like, Rusev would have featured somewhere in it, but I had to pick him before you did, obviously. So, Charlotte's the champion.
Yes.
So we can't pick her.
Can't draft Charlotte.
Right, okay. Now, on my list, she's listed as inactive due to an injury.
Okay.
But I think
most of them are.
I think she's probably the best women's wrestler that they've got. She's at least the most over. That's why I'm picking her. Sasha Banks.
Yep. I think
Knew that one.
I think it would only have made sense. I'd have been shocked if either of you had picked another diva before you picked Sasha Banks. Definitely the most over, most competent in terms of like in-ring work, I would say. Well, maybe tied with a few others, but definitely the most identifiable character, I would say, as well.
Yeah, she's... Ever since WrestleMania, really, weren't it, that she sort of like got herself over and...
Yeah. I think she's one who... Because she came back just before WrestleMania, didn't she? Like a month or two before. She came back when Charlotte was defending the Divas title and got quite a big pop, and I think she's due for another one of them again. If she is injured at the moment, I reckon she... Well, I mean, we can go into this a bit more in the other show.
Concussion, it says on my list, so...
Well, whenever it is, I think they're probably going to keep her back until SummerSlam, because I think they want another big fight feel. Anyway, Dan, round us off. Tell us which diva you will choose.
I'm going to go with Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Yeah.
Yeah. I was deciding between her and Paige. Becky Lynch is another one who I don't think's had the best of times on the main roster. She's always kind of been the butt of the joke in the division. Like, she always seems to be the downtrodden one, when actually she's fully capable. I mean, she did years outside of WWE, wrestling Japan and America a lot. She is very capable of doing the job, and I think she started to prove it at the end of her run in NXT. But then as she came back to the main roster, she kind of went back to being the butt of the joke. So I'll go with Becky.
Okay. Right, guys, thanks very much. So I'm going to read back your rosters to you now. Obviously, Dan, you've got them written down, but I'll read them back to you. So on Dan's Monday Night Raw, we have the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the Tag Team Champions, The New Day, Enzo and Big Cass. Got Tyler Breeze, Cesaro, Neville, and finally Becky Lynch. On Daryl's SmackDown, we've got US Champion Rusev, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Sheamus, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Primetime Players, Bray Wyatt, Chris Jericho, and Sasha Banks. The funny thing is, when I read these two rosters, I think...
They should be the other way around.
When they do the draft, I think there's every chance they could do this exactly the other way around.
Yeah.
So that, obviously, Raw is known for being the superstar show, and SmackDown is the one with the sort of work rate, if you like. But actually, having listened to them back, has that changed either of you's mind about how the draft might go? What you think in terms of the quality of the shows?
I mean, in terms of like how we have just split it as Daryl's got a heavyweight division, I've got a junior heavyweight, and we kind of already have that. I mean, we've got a really great IC title picture right now, and that's where I drew quite a few of my guys from. Daryl's drawn in from the heavyweight feuds with AJ Styles and Rusev's another heavyweight, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, all these guys, all big heavyweight bruisers. So we've kind of already got that. It's just, I guess they'll be given more time, and we'll probably have people come up from NXT as well.
Yeah, I just think that it's going to be a waste of time.
Really?
Yeah, like, they did a draft before.
Mm.
And like, I'm excited for it because it's something different that's happening, but I don't think it's going to be groundbreaking. I don't think that they're going to do this thing where someone's drafted all heavyweights, someone's done cruiserweights or whatever. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be Raw Mark 2, innit? So if Roman Reigns is exclusive to Raw, Cena will be SmackDown, and there's your two faces. Then they'll do what we've done. Miz will be on one, Rusev will be on other, so they've got a belt each. And then they'll probably have floating tag champs and floating women's champs, because they're not going to bring Diva's belt back, are they?
What do you think? Like, you mentioned, and you said you were just going to fuck around, but what do you think to the possibility that they keep the Divas exclusive to one of the shows? Would that work?
Yeah, it'd work if you had a solely Diva show, but yeah, you could have all the Divas. You can only see them on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's really hard not to say Divas, isn't it? That's when you said it again.
Yeah.
It's so ingrained, isn't it?
No, I think it'd be a good idea to have them across both shows, just because, I mean, it's not the biggest roster of women. It's 15 and half of them are managers or inactive right now. But at least if you're going to have one feud on each show, like they're kind of doing now as well. Like you've got Emma before she got injured with Dana Brooke against Becky Lynch, and that was a lot most of the time on SmackDown. Whereas on Raw, we've got the Charlotte stuff. It'll just carry on being like that.
Right. Well, all that being said, thanks for listening to the draft special. You can find us on twitter.com/Royal Grumble Pod. Obviously, we're on facebook.com/Royal Grumble. Not the Royal Grumble, just Royal Grumble. And you can email us at royalgrumblepod@gmail.com. Thanks very much, Daryl. Say goodbye, Daryl.
Bye, Daryl.
Thanks very much, Dan. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Catch you down the road.